So here I have my pattern laying out, and I'm just going to place some heavy things on it to keep it in place. I'm just going to use a rotary cutter. You could just pin it and use scissors, but I like using a rotary cutter, and I can start cutting. Once all your pieces are cut out, then you can start pinning them together to get ready to sew them. So I'm just going to lay them right sides together. This is going to be my front piece and this is one of my side pieces. So I'm going to pin them right along one of the edges. I'll just pin all along this way. And now I'm ready to sew. So you could just do a straight stitch to sew all the pieces together. I'm just going to do it on my serger, but if you don't have a serger, just do a straight stitch. Once those two pieces are sewn together, next I can do my other side piece that'll go over on this side. So again, I'm going to do right sides together, but I'm going to pin this side instead of the other side. And now I'm ready to sew up that side. After the first three panels are sewn together, next we can take these other panel pieces that we have that are going to have the zipper on them, and we can sew each side to the side panel that they're going to be on. I'm going to pin this one on this side, and then I have the other one on the other side, and I'll pin that and sew those down so that all the pieces will be sewn together except for the waistband, and we'll still have an opening in the back. After I have sewn all my pieces together except for the waistband, now I just ironed mine. You don't have to, but I ironed mine just to get a nice crisp, clean look and to prepare it for the waistband. My waistband piece had to be cut into two pieces, so now I'm just going to put them right sides together and sew them together. After sewing my two pieces together, I just folded it with the wrong sides together, so you can see my seam is on the inside. And I actually ironed that. You can do that if you want to, which is a good idea just to make sure everything's laying smoothly and to make sure your edges match up. So after that, next we can pin it onto the skirt. With the waistband folded in half, I then placed it on top of the skirt, right sides together. And yes, the waistband, both sides should be the right side. So either way, you're going to be fine when you place it on there. So place it on top of the skirt, and you're just lining the edges, the raw edges up, and putting those together. So that way, when we sew this, we can flip it up, and there you have your waistband. So now, once it's all pinned the whole way across, now I'm just going to sew along here. And I'm going to use my serger, but you could just use a straight stitch, or if you feel more comfortable, a zigzag stitch. But because it's a cotton fabric, you don't really need that zigzag stitch. So a nice straight stitch should work. So let's do that. Once your waistband is sewn on, it should start looking a little more like this and a little more like a skirt. So next, before we do our seam with the zipper in it, next we're going to do the hem, just because it's going to be easier when you have a straight line and not a curve. So first what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to iron it, and we accounted for 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to measure 1/2 inch and curl it up and then iron that down. You might also want to pin it so that to make sure it really does stay in place, and then you will be ready to sew it. So let's get ironing. Once I have the hem pinned the way I want it and all ready to go, I then have it brought over to my regular machine, and I've put in a double needle so that'll give it a nice finish and look really good when I stitch it. So now I'm ready to stitch, and I'm just gonna follow closer to the edge that I folded under, so closer over here than over here so it looks better. I'm just gonna sew all the way down. With the hem all finished, now I'm ready to close the seam and finish off the skirt. So this is that back seam that we're gonna put the zipper in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stitch up to 9 inches below the top, and I have a 7 to 9 inch zipper, so I'm going to put that there. But first we just need to stitch this part closed. So again, I'm going to use a serger, but you can just use a straight stitch and just use a ruler to measure down about 8 to 9 inches and mark it. So we'll mark it right there,
and that's where I'm going to stitch to. So I'll stitch from down here up to this needle. When you're ready to put the zipper in, just make sure that the zipper actually works before you put it in, because you don't want to have to take it out. Then we can go over to our skirt, and here I have the skirt right side out, and I have the zipper. This is the right side. So I'll just unzip it and turn it over, and it's going to be the right side on the left side, so that when I sew it, it can curl and it'll sit like that. Can't really see it right now, but it'll sit like that. So I'm going to pin this on, and I'm going to fold down the top, because right here is the tab and then the rest of it is just the fabric. There's no actual zipper on it. So I'll fold that down, and that's what I'm going to pin right up to the edge of my skirt. I'm not going to do a hook and eye, but you could do one if you would like, and then you would do it lower, but I'm just going to do this right to the top. So I'm going to pin that all the way down. After you have the zipper all pinned on, then you need to change the presser foot on your sewing machine to a zipper foot. So here I have mine, and then I have my needle all the way over to the left so that it doesn't hit the presser foot. And then we're ready to sew on the zipper. So when you're sewing, you just want to press the coils over and open so that you can get the closest seam possible. So I'm ready to sew. When you're ready to sew on the other side of the zipper, you're just going to take that strip and place it right sides together, just like we did before, and then pin that all the way down. Once it's pinned, you might want to flip it and make sure that the zipper is going the right way. Then I can just put my needle all the way over to the right side of my presser foot and sew along this side of the zipper. Once you are all done putting in the zipper, you are then done with your pencil skirt. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out fatquartershop.com, and you can use promo code SEWBLISS FQS, and you can get 20% off your purchase of $50 or more. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!